All right, all right. How's everybody doing? Everybody wonderful, everybody wonderful. Woo! You see, we got a little different of a setup today. But we still going to get it in. We're going to get the information that you want, the information that you deserve, because that's what we do around here. Hey, shout out to everybody. How's everybody doing? Hey, if you haven't done so already, go ahead, hop into the chat section. Let me know where you're coming in from. What part of the world are you representing today? Hey, my name is Brian, aka Uncle B, and for the last 20 years, I've been a men's performance coach with African Fly. Uh, hmm? Yeah, yeah, yeah. And so today we're going to go ahead and get into it. We have a different setup. We are we have a different setup. We are looking to actually get people onto the show and talk to you live. If you have some questions, we haven't had a chance to get deep into it because I've been taking questions coming directly from the chat room. Sometimes I don't get the context of the question, so we got a new setup that allow us to do that. Hey, what's going on, Damon? What's going on, Jairus? Good to see you fellas again. Jonathan in the house. Cleveland, Ohio. What's going on, Mr. Williams? All right. Corey from Richmond, Virginia, Indianapolis in the house. All right. Loving it. Louisiana. T-Dub. Hey, it was Shalom, Jay. Shalom. All right. So one thing I do want to say, we get some guys who randomly come through to this session and say, hey, this is an hour. It's too long. No, we have the shorter version. And that's earlier on. Typically, it's the same theme, the same title. So this is the live version where it's going to take longer because we're answering as many questions as possible and just going deeper into the subject matter. And the subject matter today, we're talking about blood flow. We talked about blood flow recently, but it's really important. And also want to tie it into how it works with African fly, the liquid aphrodisiac. And also coming up next week, we're talking about CMOS. Oh man, CMOS. I've been taking some CMOS, loving the effects of it. A lot of guys have been asking about CMOS and many other questions. So not only will I be talking about CMOS, I will also be interviewing a person who that's what he does. He makes a CMOS, very passionate about it, has a lot of great information. And I mean, the brother is just in shape. So it's like just watching somebody who's passionate about something and, they're taking it to light. And also following that week, how long should sex last? We're going to be talking about that. So that's going to be a very interesting one. Of course, tonight, like I said, we're going to be talking. I'm going to be talking live. So after I go through and we're going to talk about the subject for today, there's going to be a link that'll go into the chat room, and you'll be able to click on that link. It will take you into what's called StreamYard. It will put you into the green room, and that will allow me to go ahead and pull you up actually on screen, and we can have a conversation. We can, basically what I do with clients in terms of asking them specific questions so we can get directly to what the information is that you need and how you can help correct whatever your situation is. And also, gentlemen, of course, represent yourself well. If you want to get on live with me, let's make sure, it, check your background, check your clothes, check your hair. This is YouTube. So you want to represent yourself well. So there we go. Maurice from Chicago, Bo, Portland, Michigan in the house. Brandon, what's going on? Alabama, knows how to party. Houston, Texas in the house. Dwayne from Toronto, Super Blue. Okay. Louisville, Louisiana. Love it. Love it. CMOS. Yeah. So John, Aurora? CMOS. Yeah, we'll be talking about CMOS. Yeah. IQ, drinking that CMOS. Maryland, hey, you around the corner from here. All right, cool. All right, so let's go ahead and hop into it. Today, we are talking about that blood flow. And of course, that's essential for all life. We're going to talk about, it's necessary to give you that energy, to make sure you're not suffering from erectile dysfunction, to just correct everything in your body. And we're going to talk about how African fly, the ingredients in African fly, can really help with that. And so we're going to talk about the symptoms, the blood flow, all of that good stuff. And of course, we do this every Thursday evening at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And if you want to watch the shorter version, we release videos every Thursday at 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time on YouTube. So if you have not subscribed to the channel, go ahead and subscribe. Get the notifications. In fact, if you haven't done so already, go ahead and like this video. This helps us out, helps the algorithm out. And as I always say, we don't have enough conversations about men's sexual health. And so there's a lot of things that are not going well for guys. And we're going to fix that. All right. Coolness. All right. So when it comes to blood flow issues, let's go ahead and talk about some of the symptoms, because you may be having blood flow issues and not realize it. So, if you have cold hands and feet, that is a sign. Numbness and tingling, that's especially a sign. You want to be very careful if you have numbness or tingling. If it's persistent, be very careful with that. Of course, you can start swelling. You have digestive problems, cognitive problems. You're just not thinking clearly all the time. It's like, what's going on? You need that blood flow up in your brain. Joint pain, muscle cramps. Yeah, all of that. Fatigue, actual changes in color of the skin, and also leg ulcers. Yeah, it's not a cute thing. And some of the causes of blood flow issues: blood clots, varicose veins, and obviously obesity. The more you have on your body, the more blood it takes to get throughout the entire body and nourish your body. And diabetes, of course. And all of this just goes back to the narrowing of blood vessels and those arteries. And once again, when we're talking about erection health, in your penis are some of the smallest veins in the body. So if you're having atherosclerosis, the hardening of those veins, that is going to show up down there first. That's the reason why, they call not having erections is the canary in the coal mine. Is letting you know that something else is deeply wrong with your body. So, all right. How can I last longer? We'll talk about that. That's a good question. Montgomery, Alabama in the house. All right. So the ingredients in African fly, we have yohimbe, Damiana, sarsaparilla, cola nut, cinnamon, clove, ginger, and nutmeg. And the reason why I want to break down each one of these is so that for the guys who are using African fly, that you understand what's going on, why we put these specific ingredients together and how they interact well. And for the guys who want to try it, of course, you can go to africanfly.com. We have the coupon code of AF15. This is not an overly, I'm not trying to just sell you African fly. If you want to try it. It's on you. But yeah, let's go ahead and run this down. Oh yeah. And one other thing, when it comes to African fly, do not try to overdose on it. You're just gonna waste your money. Because when it comes to African fly, it's a natural product. If you take too much of it, I tried to overdose on it years ago. Doesn't do anything. You're just going to piss the rest of it out. All right. So don't worry about that. So let's go into these different ingredients and run through them really quick. Yohimbe is a tall evergreen forest tree, native to southwestern Africa. And the reason why we have yohimbe, and we want to be very clear with this, because yohimbe is a very powerful herb. It's the bark of the tree that's used. And there is a difference between yohimbe and yohimbine. It gets sort of confusing because yohimbe, the actual bark of the tree, yohimbine is the active ingredient in it. A lot of times when people talk about taking yohimbine in terms of medicinal use, and you get jittery and all this extra stuff, is because they just took the active ingredient. Whenever you're dealing with herbs, you want the whole compound. You want the actual bark, not just some piece of it. And so people do get jitters if they're taking just straight yohimbine. The reason why we mix it in African fly is so that it's balanced. It's balanced with the other herbs that are in there. And one of the main things it does is help dilate the blood vessels. So we were talking about in your penis, those small blood vessels. If you want them to get larger, that's where the yohimbe helps out, dilate those blood vessels. Second piece, Damiana. Is Latin American. It's used as an aphrodisiac in Latin America. It's a tonic and it's a treatment for diabetes. Imagine that. Herbs do more than one thing. So long history as an aphrodisiac, is an aromatase inhibitor. And so basically, aromatase is the process where testosterone turns into estrogen in your body. The older you get and the more belly you have. That's where aromatase can happen. And so you want to have this particular herb so you can avoid that process happening, because it's a downward cycle. If you have a stomach and then it's causing aromatase, that means your testosterone is leaving, which means that the testosterone isn't helping you burn it off, that fat off. And so you're just adding more and more to it. All right. How can I increase my semen volume? We'll answer that too. Sarsaparilla is a traditional medicine. Is used to treat leprosy, tumors, cancer, psoriasis, and rheumatism. I mean, I'm serious. Herbs, I love it. It's anti-inflammatory, testosterogenic. Basically, increases your testosterone. It's an aphrodisiac, and it reduces inflammation, improves digestion, has antioxidant activity, and helps fight infections. It does a lot. It does a lot. Kola nut is used widely in Nigeria and many Southwest African countries. Stops short-term fatigue, long-term and chronic fatigue. You need that energy. It's a stimulant. It's a stimulant. Similar to coffee, but just in terms of having that caffeine in it. And of course, my favorite one, Cincinnati, Ohio in the house. Cinnamon is used as a remedy that promotes blood circulation of the smooth muscle tissue. Helpful, very helpful. It is an aphrodisiac, and even the smell of it, of cinnamon, can function as an aphrodisiac. So, my guys who want to run out there and get that that cinnamon candle, get that scent into there, man, that can help. And also, very importantly, it increases blood circulation in your penis. That's what you need. All right, touche, yeah. All right, I got you. I'm going to answer that question for you. Let me go ahead and finish these out so we can get to some questions here, fellas. Clove is used as an anti-inflammatory and and it helps with headaches, earaches, does a bunch of things. But as far as helping you out in the bedroom, it enhances digestive health, which is very important. You can't, in terms of getting the formula into your system, it improves blood circulation and reduces blood pressure. And this is one of those ones that, for the ladies, you don't want to take this if you're pregnant or breastfeeding. And if you have that question, can women use African fly? Yes, it does help. But we'll always talk about the 80-20 rule of sexual performance. When it comes to men, we have a member, something has to move. So our sexual performance is based off of physicality. For women, it's more emotion. That 80% is emotional. So will it work with women? Yes, on the physical side, but also lower inhibitions, increase libido, all great things. But if that 80% doesn't want to work, then there you go. All right. And also, last but not least, not last but not least, but ginger is a traditional medicine in India and China for 1,000 years, can lower blood pressure and improve circulation. Really important. It enhances testosterone production. So, guys may remember seeing ginger root in some gas stations at some point. Yeah, and that was the reason why. It can prevent heart attacks and prevent blood clots also. So all of that's very important. How do you use it? All right, got you, Rain. We're going to answer some questions soon. The nutmeg, that's the last on this list before we get to these questions, is great for helping to regulate blood pressure and your circulation. Very important. Stress-reducing properties. That's usually important, especially if you're trying to have sex. You have that stress going on, it's not good for you. It also does other things like all these other herbs, helps relieve intestinal gas and constipation. So just to wrap all of this up so we can get to some of these great questions. If you're having these symptoms, cold hands and feet, numbness, tingling, swelling, digestive issues, cognitive issues, you're not thinking clearly, joint pain and muscle cramps, then we're talking about the fact that you have some issues with your blood flow. You need to get that taken care of. And of course, erectile dysfunction is in that list as well. Yohimbe, Damiana, sarsaparilla, kola nut, cinnamon, clove, ginger, and nutmeg. That is what is in African fly. So, I'm not sure what that sound is. All right. So, coolness. We had some great questions. If you could, Nikki, if we can put the invite into the chat room. invitation link. So once again, guys, if you want to come on, you have a specific question or concern, and you want me to dive deep, we're just going to ask you some basic general questions, just to see, if I can get a solution for you, right off the rip. And let me go ahead and answer some of these other questions. Does oatmeal help to increase blood flow? Yeah, yeah. It's just it's natural. It's going to help in terms of your digestion system, and it helps fill you up. So it's healthy. It's healthy. A lot of fiber in there, so it'll definitely help with your blood flow. Okay. What else we got? Mr. Young, once you start taking African Fly, when do you notice a difference? It depends on your level of sexual health. So we talk about the sexual performance scale, the scale of 1 to 10. 10 means everything works. 1 means you have some serious problems. Most guys who are using African Fly between a 5 and a 7, which means your erections are unreliable. If you're below a 5, that means that you're going into erectile dysfunction land. So if you're at a 5, 6, or 7, African Fly can help pretty quickly. Now, the thing is, once again, African Fly is a supplement. It's meant to supplement the other things that you're doing. So if you have a pattern, and that's basically what happened. You had a pattern of doing things, unless you just got sick. You weren't eating correctly. Your sleep isn't good. You're not getting your exercise in. You're constantly eating, so your body is not getting a chance to repair itself. Or you're just stressed. Your soul, how you interact with people, is not in a good state. That's going to slow down the help that African Fly can get. So you actually have to change that pattern in order for the overall all of this to help. And once again, my goal for you is to have African Fly help you, but more importantly, take this information and use that so that you don't have to take African Fly anymore. You can just be healthy. That's the goal here. All right. All right. Rayon Sirits asks if you've been taking African Fly for or so without any noticeable differences, should you give up? We would have to go deeper in that. If you wanted to hop on the stream to ask that question, because it's a good question. If you don't understand, I'm going to go ahead and answer that right now anyway. But it's still similar to the same answer in terms of what else are you doing? So African Fly works on the vast majority of men. We have a return rate of below 1%. So it works for a lot of people. It's still a question of what's going on with your health that's causing these issues. All right. Dope Law, are you a man of God? That's an interesting question. Just curious. Okay. I don't want to get. I love the Lord. I love the church. I just want to. Yeah. But there you go. There you go. Yep. I got Jay in there. All right. Leeway 300. You got some bad news. What's going on? What's going on? Yeah, let me know, man. What's going on? All right. Simeon James, I was asking, how do I use this product? Oh, okay. So basically, African Fly is a liquid formula, and it comes with a dropper top tube. You just take this. Basically within the dropper top tube, you take 3 droppers into your mouth. Basically, we're talking about a teaspoon's worth. So you're taking that 3 times a day, morning, afternoon, and early evening. The reason why we say early evening is because it is a stimulant. It does have that choline in there, and it will keep you awake if you ain't fucking or working out. So, yeah. So that's how you take it, and I've been taking it for 21 years. Actually, more than that. Yeah, about 22 years. So still alive, still healthy. So it works for me. Mm-hmm. How much days you can work out for the week? Depends on where you are. It's better to get that question answered by someone who's right there in front of you, can give you a more of a coach's answer. But it really depends on where you are. The thing that you don't want to do is overdo it. That's always the concern because you can either injure yourself or you're not going to get the results that you want. So that's important. uh, hey, Mr. Rashad, we don't want to get too personal up in here. You know what I'm saying? Okay. All right. Dre's World. If you buy the 3-pack, do you have to keep it refrigerated or at room temperature? And will this product help increase your semen volume? Oh, yeah, that's right. Someone asked about that earlier. All right. So, you do not have to refrigerate it. Just keep it at room temperature. You see it's in a dark amber jar. You want to keep it out of direct sunlight. Also, you do not want to keep it in a hot car because it has alcohol, and drinking hot alcohol does not feel good. Unfortunately, tried that one time. So, in terms of increasing your semen volume, yes, it helps with that because we're talking about several different things that are going on. We're talking about African fly helps with the production of nitric oxide. It increases testosterone. Really, semen comes from the production of semen. Well, semen is high in zinc. So African fly does not contain zinc per se. So if you want to get supplements, zinc supplements, I would highly recommend CMOS. CMOS has a good 10% of the zinc that you need. And with all the other 92 vitamins that it has, it's a wonderful product. So, yep. Gang, gang. Gang, gang. Love that. Will African fly help me last longer? Yes. We have guys who use African fly to work out with, to jog with. It gives you stamina. So yes, it will help you last longer. And in fact, you have to be careful when you're using African fly and you want to last longer. Let her know that what you're doing, because if you go from like 2, 3, 4, 5 minutes, the average sex for most people is about 5.4 minutes. But all of a sudden you at 20 minutes. She after the first 10 minutes she'd be happy, then after that be like, whoa, what's going on? So yeah, it works like that. Mm-hmm. All right. Mr. Marvin, crypto. I saw a video earlier today and you said something in response to drinking bottled water is something to eliminate. Yeah, the thing you want to be careful with bottled water is the plastic in the bottled water. That whole thing that they say about not leaving bottled water in the sun or in a hot car is because the plastic in it will leach off. BPA is the chemical that we're concerned with. That chemical can get into your body and cause all types of issues, including going after your testosterone. Cool. Mm. Mike, will it be on Amazon? It was on Amazon. We were doing quite well with it. Amazon is going through some changes when it comes to supplements, which is a good thing for us. We're on the up and up, been doing this for 20 years, but you do have some bad actors, people who just come in and just try to sell anything. And so, especially when COVID hit, a lot of people came out with immune formulas that weren't immune formulas. And so, in abundance of caution, they're looking at everybody. So we're going to be back on there, just a matter of time. All right. Can African fly help you gain muscle? Not by itself. You still have to do what you need to do. It's going to increase your testosterone. So with that increased testosterone, if you go to the gym, you work out. Yep. There you go. So that's the way that roll. I'm not sure how to say your name, sir. I'll just say JJ. Can garlic testosterone? Can garlic boost testosterone? Yes. But when we say boosting testosterone, it's just a natural food. So basically, the vast majority of plants, the 250,000 edible plants on this planet, are going to help your body in several different ways. So it's not necessarily that you need a particular plant, because not all plants are all over the planet, but humans are all over the planet. So yeah, it would help. In particular, if you're looking for erection help, people always say nature's Viagra, which is watermelon. And also now I'm adding CMOS to that. Mm-hmm. Okay. What's your thoughts on alkaline water? Don't go overboard. Some people just think like, okay, we need your body. can it's supposed to be in balance. And so if you're not sure, you haven't done any test, you're just assuming that you're acidic or you need to be alkaline. You need to go ahead and get those strips and test first. So some people, they'll just take things too far. So I mean, I don't have a problem with it. Drink water. I mean, it's water. Drink it. Yeah. So go for it. Let me see. What about intermittent fasting? Can you take it on an empty stomach? So it depends on what form of intermittent fasting you are doing. What do I mean by that? There's several different forms. I'm talking about what you consume. So there's the water intermittent fasting where you don't have any calories. The only thing you can drink is teas that don't have any sugar in it. And you're also talking about coffee, no sugar, no cream. So that's one form of fast. Other people do fasting where I'm just not eating anything and I'll drink. So what's the difference? When it comes down to it, with your body, as soon as it recognizes something as sweet, it will activate in terms of saying, hey, instead of us going after the fat storage, let's go back over here to the glucose that's already in the bloodstream and everything like that. So when you're doing the intermittent fasting, you actually want to get to the point where your body is looking at the fat and pulling that. That's how you're losing the weight. And that fat contains both energy and diseases. So when you're breathing out, that's how you lose weight by your breath. That CO2, that's that waste that's coming out. So you want to have, it depends on what you're trying to do. If you're trying to lose weight and you're doing just the water and coffee and stuff, then African fly during the fast isn't good because it does have the alcohol in it. So your body's going to react to the alcohol that's in the African fly. Okay. Yeah. All right. I think I missed a question. Oh, I think I got it. You got it. Here we go. All right. Sorry about that. We just blanked out for a second. About to pop back up here. David Balfour, can you take CMOS every day? All right. Fortunately, I just had a great conversation with a gentleman who knows way more about CMOS than I do. He's been using it for years and with great results. And so this is the answer that I got from him. Listen to your body, first of all. Second of all, it depends on what type of CMOS you get. You have to get the right quality of CMOS. Just like anything else, as soon as something becomes quote unquote a fad, all of a sudden everybody's like, oh, I want CMOS. And then people are like, oh, we can go into business. Let's go over there and just grab some CMOS and then stick some extra stuff in it, blah, blah, blah. When you're talking about CMOS, you're talking about something that's in the sea. So if there's contaminants in the water around it, if it's contaminants on the rocks that it grows on, then you're going to run into an issue. So it's really a question of the quality of it. The other piece of it is the iodine. So you don't want to go too far with it if it has a high level of iodine. Next week, make sure to check out the video next week. We'll go way deeper into it. But yeah, CMOS, yeah, you just want to make sure you have the good quality and just pay attention. If you take too much, you have too much iodine going into it, it has like a very high level of iodine, depends on the type that you get, then you're going to run into problems with your thyroid. So, and possibly a goiter. All right. Hey, thanks, Corey. We got that fixed. All right. Can deep breathing help blood flow in your body? Absolutely. I mean, stop breathing, see how the blood flow works. So, yes. You definitely want to do that when it comes to helping your body out overall. So, the thing to remember about deep breathing is that most people breathe in their chest area. They just breathe, and let's just say from a standpoint of chest breathing is stress breathing. And so you end up in a situation where you're not using the full capacity of your lungs. Now, when you do belly breathing, look at a baby. His belly is going up and down while it's breathing. When you're doing that, you're actually moving your diaphragm down and you're getting more oxygen into your body. We're talking about 20% more. And what does oxygen do in your body? a lot, obviously. So, you're actually when you say increasing your oxygen intake by 20%, you're also increasing your intelligence, your stamina, your overall health. So you want that oxygen in your body. So deep breathing is easy to do. Most people just do it shallowly. You want to take your time, do as much deep breathing as possible, whenever possible. Mm-hmm. Uh-huh. Dope law. I'm a truck driver and they might give me a random drug test. That's fine. Let me qualify that. If you're I'm assuming the question is about African fly and whether or not it's going to cause it show up on your drug test. Unless you're in a sport activity where they're measuring testosterone, and they're going to ask you, well, why is your testosterone levels a little bit higher? But we've had police officers who've been taking this for years, medical professionals who take African fly. So, and they get tested. Never been an issue. Uh-huh. Crypto Marvin, is that when you hit ketosis? Not sure. I think I missed that part. If you could restate that question, sir, I'd like to get that to you. I think I missed some people's questions. I want to get to you. All right. Once again, folks, if you haven't done so already, please go ahead and hit the like button. It helps out a lot. It helps out a lot. Mm-hmm. All right. See that Oklahoma's in the house. All right, Corey asks how much. I think I talked about this. How much serving size should you take using Irish sea moss, and how many times? You can take it. The gentleman I spoke to today says he takes it all the time, like every day. When I went through my bottle of it, it's now in the trash. I'm waiting for my next hit. So you can take it every day. It's a food. It's a food. Once again, you want to be careful with the iodine and just pay attention to your body. Okay. Uh-huh. All right. Right. What type of water do you recommend we drink to protect our testosterone? What's going on, Mr. James? Okay, so the type of water that I drink is zero water. Is a filter. It's filtered water. You can check out zerowater.com. And what it does, it actually filters all of the contaminants, not contaminants, but all the particles out of it. So it actually comes with a stick that you can measure water with. Just see how many parts per thousand particles are in the water. So if you're getting I'm in Maryland, which has pretty good water actually. The tap water has roughly 120 to 150. But you put it through the zero water, it's coming out with zero particles in it. So, and the thing that you have to be careful about with tap water is really the fluoride. There isn't a reason why they put fluoride in it other than somebody just wants to make money. It's not helpful for you. The whole thing about it protecting your teeth, why would you drink it daily? That doesn't make sense. So you have some states that actually or areas that actually outlawed having fluoride in it. If you're as a child growing up, if you're drinking a bunch of water with fluoride in it, then you actually want to get white spots on your teeth. That's just what happens. And once again, it's not great for your testosterone. And one other thing, most of the other filters that are out there will allow the fluoride to stay in. So that's the reason why I drink the zero water. But as long as the water isn't contaminated, it's better to drink water than not. Okay. And also I drink a lot of teas. So adding tea to it, it's like going to get something healthy out of it. Anyway, I'm talking about sun brew tea and also drink hot tea all the time. Okay. All right, cool. Great questions, fellas. Appreciate it. Uh-huh. Mm. You you fasted? Okay. Crypto Marvin, when fasting, I was asking you about is it good to take it on an empty stomach? I fast about 20 hours a day and want to make sure it's effective. Yeah. Oh yeah. 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 It's actually is going to be a little bit more effective. I would say unless you have some issues, and just try it. Unless you have some issues with the alcohol in it, because it's such a small amount, a teaspoon, it's not going to cause you great problems. But just go ahead and take it with water. just to make it easier. Okay. Mm. Okay. Um, yeah, Nikki, if you could go ahead and put in the chat section again, if anybody wants to hop online so we can actually have a conversation, uh, we can do that. All right. In the meantime, Ski, what questions can we get to? How does foreplay increase testosterone? How does using steroids affect blood flow? All right. How does foreplay increase testosterone? I call foreplay is for men. If you're having issues, you want to get as much foreplay as possible because that's just a natural response. Your body is going to increase the amount of testosterone and the amount of zinc that is available to you. I mean, that's the reason, it's like someone is turning you on for a longer period of time, then the results are going to be better, because you're going to start building up the testosterone that's needed for that. So, yeah, foreplay definitely. And how does using steroids affect blood flow? Um, I'm not exactly sure. I want to speak out of turn on that. Steroids and blood flow. Yeah, I'm not sure if it's necessarily that's one of the things you need to worry about when taking steroids. When you're taking steroids, there are so many other issues. Number one being that your gonads are going to shrink. So don't want that. You don't want that pimping. I'm telling you. Okay. All right. How many fluid ounces? African fly is a 4-ounce bottle. This is a 4-ounce bottle. Huh. Let's see. Hmm. All right. Which men does sex power strong? Non non-vegetarian or vegetarian? I guess that's the question. Okay, so that's an easy one. Check out Game Changers on Netflix. It goes deep into this, but basically what we're talking about is whenever you're eating meat, it stays in your system, and it basically clogs everything up. And so they did experiments with guys who would eat meat one day and non-meat the next day. Something vegan, and there was a noticeable difference in the number of erections overnight, the amount of blood that went into the erections, and the time that they had the erections. So yeah, it makes a huge difference. Eating meat is not the greatest thing at all. In fact, let's see, get my shirt in here right quick. There we go. There we go. Eat death and die painfully. And it's a truism. It is a truism that people say, well, I'm eating animals. I'm a carnivore. It's like carnivores eat animals alive. Humans, we have to kill the animal and eat the dead animal. There is nothing beneficial about eating something that's dead. I mean, can you survive? Obviously, yes. Is that something for you to thrive? No, not at all. So, yeah, vegans do it better. Okay. Mm-hmm. Dope law. Drink beet juice, take maca root, drink lemon water. Yep, I like all of those. Uh-huh. All right. Does Kegels increase blood flow? Well, yeah. I mean, you're flexing the muscle. So yes, it's going to increase blood flow. Is it going to increase blood flow? It's better to actually run, jog, something like that in terms of increasing blood flow throughout your entire body. But doing Kegels are going to help in another way because basically you're moving a muscle. So you can develop that muscle. So yeah. Mm-hmm. All right. Okay. Cool. Yep. All right. Let's see. Is there more questions I'm missing? Antonio, what can I do to get more testosterone? Well, we've got a bunch of videos on that. But yeah, so let's break them all the way down. So, what you eat? You want to eat energy, fruits, vegetables, raw, as non-processed as possible. That's going to give you energy. That's going to increase your testosterone. Sleep is highly important because your testosterone develops while you sleep. We're talking about 8 hours of sleep. I'm going to do a video about sleep because we got some new research out that's insane. Basically, if you get 4 hours of sleep, you are going to be dumber. Literally, your brain won't. uh, when you memorize something, it goes into the short-term memory and then goes into the long-term memory. Well, when you sleep, that's when the long-term memory kicks in. So if you try to learn something and then you don't go to sleep, you get bad sleep, you're not going to get the level of memory that you want. But more importantly, to your point, is the testosterone, and exercise. High intensity interval training. I'm doing something. I'm going to do a whole video on it, but I'm doing something that's, if it works out, I'm going to be upset that it actually worked out. Long story, but basically, you want to increase the amount of motion that you do. The higher intensity you are, that whole thing of, the caveman, like chasing down the woman, chasing down something, and then wanting to have sex. That's that blood flow. You want to get that energy. So all of these things add up to you getting more testosterone. Of course, intermittent fasting increases HGH, which is a close cousin to testosterone, by I think it's 20 hours. You get 2,000%, something insane. So, you do want to give your body a break, and of course, you want to avoid stress. That is what really kills testosterone for a lot of guys. All right, Jay, I'm vegan, but I want to put on 10 pounds. It depends on your body type. I'm assuming that you're an ectomorph, so you're a slim guy. So 10 pounds of muscle. Yeah. So yeah, it's just going to be harder. There's some videos I've seen recently, and I'll do a video talking about the different body types. So I mean, you literally just going to have to eat more. just eat more. There's nothing else you can do about that. You're lucky in some ways and not in others. So me, I'm a mesomorph. That means basically, if I see food, it becomes me. just gain weight. Are beet chews from GNC okay? My preference for you is to actually just go ahead and get the beet juice, the actual beet juice. There's beet powder. The further you get away from the source, the more you're going to lose out on the goodness of it. So, eating beets directly, that's the first level. The next level is beet juice. The next level after that is beet powder, and all the way down there is the gummies or beet chews. Okay. Cool. All right, let me see what else we got going on here. Can you increase your penis size? Quite possibly. That most guys nowadays, because of the lifestyle we're living, are typically 20 to 30% smaller than we should be. So you're talking about, lifestyle changes. African fly can help, but you need to be at an 8, 9, or a 10 before you start seeing the increase in size. Because if you're at 5, 6, 7 or below, we're talking about circulation issues. The veins aren't as strong as they are. You don't have enough testosterone, so you don't have as many erections as possible. Even at night, you're supposed to have 5 erections, and they maybe end up being smaller. So you can increase your size, but do not don't fall for it. I mean, I haven't seen them lately, but they used to have these commercials or ads or wherever talking about gaining 4 inches in 4 days, which is insane. No, you can't do that, but it can help. All right. Is masturbation once a day good for your sexual health? Without porn? Good question, Nathan. And basically, it's fine. Basically, the reason why you're masturbating is because you want to have sex. The reason why you're on this planet is so you can have sex. Our ancestors weren't paying attention to Netflix, or didn't have jobs, and weren't driving around. They was fucking. That's why there's so many. That's why there are billions of humans on this planet. So you're designed to have sex. So it's not a problem. If you were doing that to porn, I would say, you want to be careful with that. But if you're just basically, there was a song about this. Talking about testicular cancer, and it was saying basically, rub your balls, hold your balls, love your balls, because this is a use it or lose it situation. So you don't want to be in a situation where you don't use your penis. That's sort of like saying, I'm not going to lift weights, so I'm not going to do something. It's like, yes, it's going to atrophy, it's going to get smaller. So you do want to keep it in motion. Ice cream. What's better, cooked vegetables or raw? The raw vegetables. The raw vegetables. And that's, once again, the closer you are to the source, the more minerals and nutrients there are. Obviously, there's some fruits and vegetables. No, there's some vegetables that you need to cook because it has too much fiber, such as potatoes. Got to cook those. So yeah, it's better to get it raw. And what I've been doing recently is roasting vegetables. And that's amazing. Actually, roast fruit, shockingly good. Bananas, blueberries, grapes, pineapples, shockingly good. So roasted vegetable. Hey, Vance, can you grab the vegetables out of there? Just want to show off my collection. Here we go. The bottom. Yep. So yeah, not playing around at all when it comes to these here. Oh wow! All right, I'll just show it. Yep, there you go. This is going into the oven. So what I do is just go ahead and use all my spices and everything, put them on there, and salt. I actually use celery salt on it because hey, it's seasoning. It's make it taste good. But roasted vegetables are amazing. I am so shocked as to why they're not in restaurants. And roasted fruit, I was, as soon as I started roasting vegetables, I was like, I wonder what fruit would taste like. It's try it. That's something new for you. Try it. Okay. Great question. Thanks, sir. What are your thoughts on gummy vitamins and supplements? Gummy vitamins, not a big fan. And that's because with gummy vitamins, once again, it's so far away from a source of anything. I'm not sure what the gummy is made out of. Typically, we're talking about gelatin. Yeah. Where does gelatin come from? Pigs. So, why it's like wrapping a vitamin in bacon. What? This doesn't. So, nah. that's yeah. Yeah, Mr. Wilson, go ahead. Frozen grapes are good too. Yep. Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, and you can make a banana ice cream. That's amazing. Uh-huh. Mm-hmm. All right. Rayon, that's what I'm talking about. That's the exercise I do, bro. HIIT and 16-hour fast and at least 3 times a week. That's a great program, sir. Keep that up. All right. Crypto. Do you have an email address? Well, yeah. What I want to do is give you the company email address. That way, because we can filter it through, and I can make sure I get your question. My email box is overloaded. So, Nikki, if you can put the help at Africa Airs Naturals in there. Mm-hmm. All right. Yeah. So help at airsnaturals.com. That will help you out there. Okay. Cool. Great questions, fellas. Love it. Let me see. I'll make sure I haven't missed anything. Yeah. So, and one of the things I do want to talk about really quick, just to go into the one side of things that I don't get a chance to talk to as much, and that's the talk about the ESEIS system. That's ESEIS. That's energy, sleep, exercise, intermittent fasting, and soul. Now, the soul side of things, we really have to pay attention to because a lot of guys are under an intense amount of stress right now, just because of the world, the way that it is right now. Please make sure you're doing your meditations, taking time, doing that deep breathing, because the more stressed you are, it affects your entire day and it affects everything else. So you don't want to put yourself into a position where things aren't right in your world. And the thing that, the reason why I'm very, the number of suicides, let's go ahead and say it. The suicide rate between men and women, 80% of suicides are men. Most people don't know that. That's because we're men. And as men, when people say, women say they want to be equal to men, it's like, you don't want this smoke because when it comes to being a man, a lot of times people just don't care. We have low level competition with each other, and then you have women who are trying to compete with us now too. So it's like we're running out of people who care about us. So it's actually, a lot of people just do not realize that, that can happen. So please take care of yourself. Please take care of yourself. Uh-huh. What's your view on Goli apple cider vinegar's gummies? I haven't tried that yet, and I believe that they're saying their gummy is pig free. So I guess that's better. But once again, you know, unless you have a visceral, reaction to apple cider vinegar, just take the apple cider vinegar. Just go that way. Better. It's much better. Okay. All right. We say fish, source of omega-3. Does that help sex drive? Well, the issue with the fish, once again, is you have to kill it so it's dead. So you need something that's dead. And, omega-3, that can come from krill. It's what the fish eat that gives them the omega-3. And so does it help sex drive? It's omega-3. It helps your body. So that in many ways helps sex drive, but it's not like a direct connect between those two. Okay. Joseph, I have an air fryer. Can that roast fruit? Yeah, that's heat. So what I typically do with my roasted vegetables, that's 450 degrees. Well, actually, I do 425 now. And just sit them in there for about half an hour. You want to give a little avocado oil or olive oil at the bottom, and then put them on there, season them up. About 15 minutes in, flip them over, and all good. Yes, indeed. Mm-hmm. Ricardo, my fault, sir. I'm 68 years old. I'm pretty good shape. Ride bikes, etc. Take men's multivitamins. At times, I get uncontrollable erections. Should I take African fly as a supplement? You have uncontrollable erections, spontaneous erections, sir. Thank you for your service. My goodness. African fly would definitely help. You have to be, when you say men's multivitamins, sometimes that concerns me because, there's a lot of, in multivitamins, there isn't any energy in it, as in when everything else humans consume gets energy from the sun. We're eating the sun. And so with the pills and the multivitamins, those are created in a lab, and then, they make like thousands of them a day. It's artificial food. So you want to be careful with that. Mm-hmm. All right. Cool. All right, fellas. Yep, just going back through, make sure I hit any questions. If I didn't get to your question, please go ahead and hit me up. Mm-hmm. Let's see. Is there any other questions here? Corey, are the shirts available for purchase yet? We'll have those up on YouTube very soon. So you can get it off of there. We'll probably have it on the website, of course, africanfly.com. Uh-huh. All right. Super Blue, is there a type of tea that helps with testosterone? I wouldn't say directly. I haven't come across any some herbs. You add cinnamon to it. That's a mild aphrodisiac. Some people add cinnamon to their coffee. But I never understood that one. But yeah, you can add that to a tea. But yeah, at the end of the day, I don't believe there's a specific tea just for testosterone. But we may come up with that. That's a great idea. We appreciate that. Joseph, where can I get maca root? I live in Pennsylvania. Unfortunately, I don't have the answer to that, but there's plenty of health food stores that are becoming more popular. Obviously, Whole Foods. Actually, I'm not sure if Whole Foods has it. Yes, they do. Yeah, what am I talking about? I got it right there in my cabinet. So yeah, you can get it from Whole Foods or one of those types of places. Mm-hmm. What about CMOS gel? Yay or nay? Oh, yay. Yeah, you definitely want to get that CMOS gel. Was talking about that earlier. As 92 vitamins. It's very nutrient dense. You just want to be careful of the source where you're getting it from, and just pay attention, because what you should get out of it, your body will thank you. You're going to have a ton of energy. I've been working out a lot with my cousin, and we do some insane workouts, and I've gotten to the point where I can go through to the end. Before, it was like I was on the ground, just some exercise, just we were doing like hit routines where we're doing 35 seconds on, 10 seconds off, and I started priding myself on being able to do all the routines, and now I can go for over an hour. So it's great. It's great. Use that CMOS. Okay. Oysters. How about oysters? IQ. What the? Okay. How about oysters? So yeah, oysters. Once again, in order to eat an oyster, you have to kill it, and that means you're eating something that's dead. It does have zinc in it, but the oyster doesn't make the zinc. Zinc is part of the crust of the earth. So that's how we're getting it from fruits and vegetables and everything like that. But yeah, the CMOS has a lot of zinc in it, so you want to get the ZMOS. Yep. Green tea is good. Yes. Can empty stomach increase testosterone and help you last longer in bed? Yes. It's like swimming. Sex is an activity. It's a physical activity. And it's like, you don't necessarily want to have something on your stomach. And so what happens whenever you eat something, your body has to focus in on the digestive system first. Why? Because part of what you're eating also has, some poisons in it, and some things that it has to remove. So it's focusing on the food. Even if you're eating something that's great for you, it still has to focus on the food. So you're not going to get as much out of your performance as you would if you just, if you have a ton of stuff on your stomach. So, yep, you want to have sex on an empty stomach. That's very, very good, very important. So what kind of season do you put on your vegetables? Hey, Advance, can we? Yep, the whole rack. Yep. Oh, went black for a second. We're back. Okay, so here we go. So I have Shai's crushed mint, dill weed, fennel seeds, cilantro, parsley, colander, sea salt. Yep. Savory, thyme. It's coming back. Rosemary, bay leaves. So yeah, got a ton of herbs that you can use, and I'm very generous with the herbs. Just put it on there. It flavors it up. You really can't hurt it. You want to be in the one thing to be careful about. I said I use salt on it. You don't want to over salt it. A lot of times people confuse herbs with seasonings. Seasonings tend to have it's like some herbs or some seasonings with salt added into it. So you don't want to go overboard with adding the salt to your vegetables. You need salt in your life, but we have so much salt in everything else. Yeah, Kevin. So true. Best sexual performances come on an empty stomach. What about pure tart cherry juice? Got that in refrigerator. Woo. Yeah. Yeah, it works. I think that's great for your kidneys. For your kidneys. I'll just go ahead and say it. Guys that smoke weed and need to get tested, that's one of the things that they say, clean out your kidneys. It's probably better just not to smoke the weed, but okay. Okay, Yosef. I'll put tea bags on the water. Is that good or better? Hot tea. Hot tea is going to get the essence of the herbs out of that tea bag. I live in Pennsylvania. Water taste is bad. What's the best water filter to buy? Zero Water. Check out zerowater.com. They're not sponsoring me, but I just like their product. What are your thoughts on ashwagandha? Using ashwagandha. Ashwagandha is one of the herbs that you, in terms of helping your testosterone, unlike African fly, I'd say, you want to take African fly in the early evening because it has a stimulant to it, because it's, designed for you to have sex pretty quickly. Ashwagandha helps build your testosterone, but it also allows you to go to sleep. So if I get to a point where it's like, I want to get some, make sure I'm firing up my testosterone before, later in the evening, then I'll take some ashwagandha. And we're actually looking at coming out with a line of other herbs, including ashwagandha, so that you guys can just have a trusted source, because I'm not going to give you some stuff that doesn't work. Okay. I'm testing it out myself right now. Uh-huh. What about if I mix African fly and pre-workout? Mr. Peterson. Well, the pre-workout is in question. So if your pre-workout, which I'm quite sure is sweet, then nah, because that sweetness is going to lower your testosterone. So I'm that I've done a whole talk about pre-workouts. I'm not a huge fan of that. If you're eating something that's sweet right before your workout, yeah, you have all these extra chemicals that they put into it, but you're not using your testosterone. You're lowering your testosterone. Uh-huh. Corey, no, the shirts aren't available yet. They will be available soon. Mm-hmm. Huh. Does using, is that ganja berry? Ganja bee? Eating, drinking, smoking works against sexual performance. Oh, ganja. Oh. Yeah. When it comes to the weed, it's the higher the THC is, the more problematic it's going to be for your sex drive. Now, mind you, this is especially for if you already have an issue. Smoking anything is not going to help. So, some people, of course, they'll smoke because it helps them. It enhances the sensation, but you don't want to take things too far. Uh huh. Mm-hmm. Okay, pomegranate juice. Pomegranate is great. With any juice, though, you want to be careful and not overdo it because there's a lot of sugar in that juice. True, it's natural sugar, but you can take it too far, especially if you're trying to lose weight. Okay. Safest sexual performance pill? No such thing. Not a pill. Use African fly. You want a tincture. You want herbs in a bottle. Liquid. So yeah, Kevin, I would say African fly. So all right, DJ Tommy Thompson. Okay, sound like you're on the air already. DJ Tommy Thompson. All right, where did that question go? Currently on dialysis. How can I get my sex drive up? The first thing is to get off dialysis. So you really have to focus in on your health, because you're on a downward cycle, and the more you go on the downward cycle, your erections are the first thing to go. So you need to get back up on an upward cycle. Once again, you want to start eating all energy. If you have a health issue, eat energy, consume as much energy as possible. And let me just give you a quick rundown of this. We're over the 10 o'clock time, but I want to make sure I get this to you. When it comes to making the switch over for what you're eating, not only are you dealing with your brain, you're also dealing with your gut. So your brain is like, I'm just going to eat. You're trying to control what you're eating. But when it comes to your gut, it's called the microbiome. You have trillions of fungi, bacteria that are in your gut, and they're tiny little microscopic things. They don't know any better. They don't know about you and your plans and dialysis or anything like that. All they know is when the foods gets broken down, that's how they thrive. So if you're eating certain foods, like if you're eating oatmeal cream pies all the time, well, you have oatmeal cream pie bacteria all up in your gut, and it's going to send a signal to your brain saying, get more of that. So what you want to do is start eating more fruits and vegetables, and you're going to start feeding the gut bacteria for that. Your body optimally runs off of plant fiber. Let me say that again. Your body optimally runs off of plant fiber. So the more plant fiber you have in your life, the better your entire body is going to get. Your blood is going to get better, and you will hopefully be able to start getting off of that dialysis. I mean, obviously, some other things to do, but yeah. All right. Can I buy beets and blend them? What do I put water in my blender? I own a Vitamix. Um, you would have to cook the beets first. I just want to say that you're going to tear your blender up. Beets are very fibrous, so you have to be careful with that. But experiment. You can still run to the store and just buy the beet juice. It's up to you. But yeah, that's a good time. All right. Bee pollen. Bee pollen can help. Should you cycle it? I really haven't used bee pollen often enough to give you an informed answer on that. But hey, let me say, is there anything? Can you drink alcohol with African fly? It's not recommended. You're drinking. It's like taking a vitamin with a poison. Alcohol is a poison that happens to make you feel woozy. Oh, when I say eat energy, I meant eat fruits and vegetables. That's energy. And everything else, you go into the grocery store, that first aisle was just the fruits and vegetables. That's all you need. Everything else in the store is dead. It's packaged. It was packaged so that it can sit on the shelves for as long as possible so they can make money. That's literally the only reason. They say it's for taste and all this other kind of stuff, but why do they put chemicals in it and extra salt and extra sugar to make you addicted to it? It's dead. So you want to get the food. Oh, right. Okay. Third shift. All right. There's something I want to say about the third shift. And it's going to affect your life. Hopefully it saves your life. Not getting the regular sleep, having your sleep pattern off can actually cause way more damage to your body than you can imagine. It's so bad that the World Health Organization calls the third shift carcinogenic, because you can get cancer from not getting the proper amount of sleep. So if you're on that third shift, hopefully you can get another job. And I say that, respectfully. I understand life is life, but yeah. So finding the right time to eat, yeah, it's sort of hard to get the right time to eat because your schedule is so thrown off. I can use African fly. You take it 3 times a day. A teaspoon of it. It's a liquid formula. So I'm going to take a teaspoon of it in the morning, early afternoon, and morning, afternoon, and early evening. Okay. All right. So, yep. We ran into overtime. We wanted to make sure, I got as many questions in as possible. Hey guys, I appreciate you. We do this every week. So, come on back every Thursday at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. It's interesting. We didn't get anybody who wanted to hop in on the line. I could talk to you personal, up close and personal. Maybe you didn't want to have your face on YouTube. I got it. I got you. We'll look at something else too. We can do Zoom on another side so I can at least hear you. And we can talk. And actually, if you came into the room, you could come in without your camera on, and I could hear you that way. So we have options, but we'll look to do that next time for those guys who want to get those questions in. If you stay consistent on work eating, how long to turn around? Depends on where you're starting at. Once again, that sexual performance scale of 1 to 10, 10 being the highest, 1 being the full erectile dysfunction. It depends on where you're starting. So how long? And here's the thing. Like my nephew asked me when I was working out with him, how long we have to work out for the rest of your life? How long do you need to eat well for the rest of your life? How long do you need to sleep well for the rest of your life? Because that way you have a rest of your life. So go. All right. Hey, I want to thank everybody. Hey, thank you, Ricardo. Thanks everybody who for coming through. You're welcome, DJ. Love it, love it, love it. I will see you next week. Before you leave out, if you have not done so, go ahead and hit that like button. I really do appreciate it. And this is Uncle B saying, get your game up and go hard. Peace out.